new faces do we have this morning? Excellent. We'll give you your time, so we will introduce you very shortly. We're going to start off, if you want to scan this QR code, it'll add all the events that are going on in the area that leads, kind of generates this calendar for us to keep you on track with everything that's going on. So if you want to know what the community is doing, that's one of the ways that you can find out this morning.
Tell me what.
You good? Also, the Wi-Fi password is up there in case anything's moving slowly this morning. So just our usual few housekeeping items this morning. Please kind of keep those side conversations to a very, very minimum. We want to give our presenters our full attention and make sure we have all of our notes and questions and feedback ready for them when they are done. Now that you've scanned the QR code, please mute that phone so nobody needs you in the middle and distracts you from our presenter. We are filming live on Facebook as always, so if you have a friend that's an entrepreneur, you know an entrepreneur, feel free to give them the link and let them know and let them watch and learn how much fun it is, and then we'll see them in person soon enough. So this wonderful building is full of lots of resources for you entrepreneurs. Our mega workplace, Pam and George, they're not here this morning, and Adriana, but this is a wonderful, wonderful support place for you entrepreneurs. You've got resources like access to LEAD here, which is the Lake Economic Area Development Group. All kinds of resources through them. As I mentioned, they do that calendar. You can find out more information about them with the QR code. We've got the SBDC downstairs. Sir John Duran is looking dapper this morning. Yes. But the cane is there, the cane of intimidation, so make sure you come prepared. John is located downstairs and is happy to help all entrepreneurs and business owners with all things related to growing and succeeding. And then we have our UCF Business Incubation Program. Brian is also downstairs. So questions for all your business support, free resources downstairs, which is absolutely unprecedented in most places. So be sure to take advantage of that. Our sponsors, as always, Foxtail Coffee. Everybody feeling caffeinated, and Byron's out. There's refills, still plenty of coffee left. And our breakfast sponsor this morning is the Lake Eustis Area Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Reed, thank you for breakfast this morning. Looks beautiful as always. And we do need additional breakfast sponsors for the Eustis community. If you are feeling like you want to be a little bit more involved and you want to see your company logo up there on your naming lights, we are accepting breakfast sponsors. It doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't have to go with lox and bagels like Banks requested before. Something simple and straight. Donuts, everybody loves donuts. Go well with coffee. It's up to you. It's open to interpretation. So if you are interested in that, find one of the organizers after this, and we would love to put your logo up on the screen. So what is 1 Million Cups? For those folks that are here for the first time, and just a reminder as why we're all here, this is a safe place, a supportive environment for all entrepreneurs throughout Lake County. So if you have a business idea, if you already have a business about 1 to 5 years old and you're looking to maybe grow and expand, or you just have some questions, or you just have that one thing that's keeping you up at night and you really need to be able to say it out loud and hear back from other business owners, this is your place. So there are over 100 chapters throughout the nation that are doing the same thing on a Wednesday. So lots of connecting and lots of support for small business and entrepreneurs, because we know how important to our local communities and ecosystems our entrepreneurs are. So the whole point is to make sure that you all are completely supported from all angles with no barriers and no cost to you to make your business successful. So again, if you know an entrepreneur, invite them. You never know. And if you are an entrepreneur, obviously you are in the right place. This is just a little bit of the impact that this community of 1 Million Cups has had here locally. There are lots and lots of stats in there that I know are impressive, and I think one of the ones that, to the new people that are here, the increase in size of revenue for some folks that have been coming, around 162%. And this is all based on feedback from you all as your successes grow with your company. So these are all really, really encouraging numbers, and the bottom number there, through this about 18, 19 months that this community has been in existence, almost 1,000 people have come through here. So that's a lot of people providing not only business support, but questions, and also coming up and presenting and talking about their businesses. So presenters. Presenters is what this is all about. This is, again, a safe place for you as a business owner to come up and talk about your business, your what's keeping you up at night challenge, asking, I'm going to pivot and I want to know what you all think about this. You're going to get that honest feedback from another business owner, maybe completely unrelated to yours, but maybe they've had that same problem and they have some suggestions on how they could help or what you could do to kind of get past that and maybe go back to sleep at night so you're not up worrying quite so. And it's very important for your growth as a business. So come find an organizer after the presentation today if you are even remotely thinking about it, and just talk to us about it, and I guarantee you'll find the value in it.
We have openings.
We do. We have openings for presenters, so let us put your name in. Who's thought about presenting? Okay, I like it. What are you doing next week? Okay, I like it. We'll talk some. So, speaking of presenters, you are doing just that. You're presenting. You're not pitching. Again, you're talking about what it is that your business needs or what you're thinking about. So you're just kind of presenting what it is that's on your mind as a business owner. You're not pitching, you're not asking for business, you're not doing that hard sell or anything like that. So again, it's a supportive environment for you to talk about your business ideas. And then we're here to connect with each other. Again, it's not that, oh, here's my business card, call me for my services. It's a connection. I want to support you. I love to eat. I want to see what you're doing in your catering business. I love pictures. I want to hear more about your photography business. All those kinds of things, and how can I support you? How can I move this forward for you and make you more successful right here in Eustis and throughout Lake County? So back to the first time attendees. Where are you all? Okay, so that you get ready for your presentation for the first time, maybe next week. If you are here for the first time, I'm just going to have you stand up, introduce yourself, your name, and your company. So I am Betsy Soar with 1 Million Cups. Or Amanda, come around.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeremy with Porterhouse Properties. I am the broker owner of Porterhouse Properties. We do residential property management, midterm, long-term, short-term, all the terms is what we do. That's it. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
How's it going, everybody? I'm John with DMG.
Hi, my name is Antoinette Nunez. Everybody calls me Annette, and I'm with Naughty Quest Marines.
I'm Tammy Esteves. I am with Travita Travel, and that is Travel with a Purpose, Bespoke Travel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lori Ann Hickman. I prefer Lori. I'm with American First Healthcare, and I'm a licensed insurance advisor, health and life insurance.
Excellent. You're all potential to be presenters. So, again, especially that Marine story, you guys get the idea. I want to hear about it. Okay, at the end of today's presentation, we're going to be giving away some of our cups over here, our 1 million cups, so you can promote throughout the week and keep your coffee warm at the same time. So make sure that we will pass around, maybe that little bowl right there behind you, to put business cards in. and collect business cards. So if you've not put your business cards in, we'll circulate that around and make sure we get your business cards, and we'll do a drawing at the end for one of the 1 million cups. So the question of the day, everybody get your thinking caps on now. How do you excel at a trade show or a market? Are you stretching? Are you stretching?
I got a couple things, but I'll just keep it very short. So, if for the people that don't know, I am a market coordinator. I've been doing it now for almost 5 years. So anyway, the one thing that we tell all of our vendors is to stand up, smile. You do not be pushy. You just have a normal conversation. Thank you for coming today. How are you doing? Point something out that they're holding, wearing, something like that, just to get their attention. And as a vendor myself, before we started, while we started coordinating, I would do that, and all it would do is just get their eyes to my booth. I'm not talking to them about my product. It's just their eyes are to my stuff. Then they casually just come on in. So that's the best advice that I can give to anybody. I know there's so much more, and I can go on forever, but that's my main advice.
I like it. Presentations, not pitches.
How do you excel at a trade show? Use a spreadsheet. Anyway, so actually, what I would say is pre-planning, right? Know what you want to get out of a trade show. The more pre-planning you do, the easier it is. So kind of list everything you want to get, and never underestimate the power of having some food at your booth.
One tip, instead of just saying to help you, you could just start a conversation by asking, where are you from?
Good morning, Byron, Esports Photo. I don't want to stand in front of the camera. So, make people stop. And there's 2 ways to do that. One, if you have some type of a demonstration or you're doing something or something's active there, how many times have you been in a trade show, people have been chopping up those vegetables for those pans? As an example, you probably stopped and at least watched a little bit while you bought a pan for more than but anyway. But the second, and this is probably self-serving because it's the business I'm in, bring a photo booth with you. And here's why. People stop, they have fun, they get a memory with your brand on it, and that thing collects a ton of data for you that you can use on the backside to reconnect with your customers.
I love these ideas, but I just gotta say, don't underestimate the power of just doing it and doing it wrong, right? So do it wrong enough, long enough, and you will excel at the markets in the future.
I would say just be very personal. How you doing? What do you like about the show so far? Like where you're from? You know, be interested in people's what they want, not just your product. And don't be a lump of butter. Because I have been to trade shows, people just stand there, not even say hi when you're passing by. And I say, what are you here for? You gotta make conversation.
Anyone else?
So I vent sometimes as well, and I like to focus on my booth. I like my booth to be set up really nicely. I do food service, so I like to have my warmers. I like to have, you know, my drink dispensers and all that stuff, but I also like to have like other little things like my pastries and a nice little, you know, cold server, just so that people can come up and say, oh, what's that, you know, or your booth looks so great, you know, that's what brings them over. It's kind of like my booth is a conversation piece. And I like what you said about the photo booth. I did that one time, and a lot of people stopped. Like they just, everybody loves taking pictures, so the photo booth is also really good.
Greg Sizer with Brightwood Connection, Commercial Residential Transactions. 2 things. First thing is if you have the ability when you're at a trade shows, go observe other booths and see who has a lot of people coming to them, and take down notes of what's attracting them to that booth. So, and then collaborating with your peers is the other one, and then coffee has been well known in the trade shows. My wife is an event planner, corporate event planner. Having coffee at your booth is a huge engagement piece. So.
All right, we'll take about 2 more questions and then we're gonna get to our presentation.
Sorry if this was already mentioned, but I've been a lot of business-to-business trade shows, and one of the things is market with the other people who are displaying. So if you're presenting and you have a booth, take advantage of that hour or 2 hour setup and just, go to each of the other booths, because that's every time we've done a survey for any trade shows that I've been a part of, it's like the big thing was networking with the other exhibitors. So it's a big thing.
Probably the single most important thing you can do is to make sure you pick the right person to be behind the table. Okay? It doesn't have to be the president, and you don't want it to be the CFO, let me tell you. I'm boring. So, but make sure that that person is outgoing and knows the business very, very well.
Rose Lindo, Lindo's Catering and Events. So, one thing I must say, do not do it by yourself. I did one by myself. It was overwhelming. I had so many people we had tasters. We do catering. So we had so many people. Don't do it by yourself. It gets exhausting. So always have someone with you.
So that was a lot of great feedback. Intelligence, networking, tangible items, make it pretty. This is, again, all part of it. We haven't even gotten to our presenter yet, and I'm sure some of you have some ideas already that can help your business. So the format for today, we're going to give Miss Angie Ruff with the Retail Rebel Revolution 6 minutes to present. So get those pens ready and start writing down your questions, because we're going to give her 24 minutes of feedback about what we've heard from her presentation. So keep your feedback nice and succinct, because I'm sure there will be lots of questions and feedback after this. So let's welcome Miss Angie Ruff.
Thank you, and thank you to 1 Million Cups for allowing me to present today. So Retail Rebel Revolution, it is an idea that came to me as I was going to trade shows myself. I use trade shows as lead generation. I spent 24 years building brands on the manufacturing side and on the consumer product goods consulting side, helping them scale and grow, basically from concept creation to on the shelf. And beyond that, personally, I'm a mom. I've done stand-up comedy, I've done keynote speaking, and I'm an industrial engineer and worked in manufacturing the majority of my career. So let's get into the details as to what and why I'm here talking to you all today. So what and why is Retail Rebel Revolution? My stage for this business is super startup. It came up as, again, a dream, an idea, a problem that I saw in the trade show industry, and instead of just sitting here and complaining, I decided to do something about it. This concept's been ongoing for about 6 months. We have launched. We are live and taking trade show booth, accepting trade people that are exhibitors. But let me tell you the story as to my why. Deb and Don. That's Deb and Don right there. Dakota Don's Artisan Waffles. Don't they look adorable? So I'm walking a trade show last year, and it was in Denver, Colorado. Huge trade show, approximately, I think there was about 2,000 attendees, or 2,000 exhibitors, around 10,000-ish attendees. And Dakota Don and his lovely wife Deb were on one side of them was Dole Fruit Snacks, and on the other side of them was Frontiera Foods. The only way I got this picture was because it was before the show started. When you walk the booths, you couldn't even get to their booth because Dole and Frontiera was overspilling into their booth, and they could not get any attention. They saw the buyers walk by up and down, but unfortunately they were really overlooked. And it just broke my heart because they were super nice people. So I decided, what can I do to make this something where someone like Deb and Dakota Don can actually win and make an impact and get the attention of the buyers that they're looking for. So one of those things that I did was I decided to build a show that's more about selling than showing. How am I doing that? We've built an integrated app into the trade show itself, And all of the exhibitors at the show will be able to sell their products through the app to buyers, curated to specific buyers, 2 weeks before the show, the week of the show, and 2 weeks after the show. The goal is that they're going to see their ROI within 4 weeks of the show. There's no way, in my mind, I'm going, if you can't do this, then we got a bigger problem here. So that's the reason we're making this slightly different. I'm inspired to make a change in this industry because I'm always for the small business owner. I think they need to be seen. I think we've got a serious problem that needs to be solved, that we need to have these brands have a platform where we're only targeting businesses and brands that are 5 million and under. So if they're 5 million and under, those are the people we want. Are we going to turn away bigger brands? If they're 10 million, probably not. But if they've got a big parent company such as General Mills and they're just a subset under, yes, we are going to turn those brands away. They will not be accepted into this show. Why the name choice? I like fun, I like adventure. So I wanted to make something that sounded like it was more than just a regular trade show. And we did test it. We kind of put a few different names out there through different brands that I've had contact over the years, and this is what landed. So Retail Revolution is what won. And then again, I already stated what our target market is. Brands, retail brands that are in, think of things that are in Costco, things that are in Walmart, things that are in Publix, those type of places. Those are our trade markets. So the validation process, what do we do? Last fall, I sent out surveys to multiple brands going, what would you pay to be in a trade show that would put you in front of buyers without having the competition of the large brands? We're able to get that information back and try to see, can we build a trade show that fits within that budget? Well, what we did is we learned we could. So beyond that, what we did was, what kind of buyers do you want to see? Can we get the buyer's attention to be able to come? How can we lure them in? Where are we able to build packages to be able to say, hey, Kroger, can you please send your buyers here on the weekend before Labor Day and actually come and walk the show? They've already committed. So that's how we've been able to validate that. This is our trade show website. Just wanted you guys to be able to see that. That is this year. We're going to have 750 booths. We're anticipating 10,000 attendees based on the feedback we've received so far, but our booths are not all sold. So how do we make money? Obviously through the booths, through sponsorships, through ticket sales. We're also offering memberships that get them opportunities for additional buyer feedback throughout the year. And then we're marketing through sales team outreach. We have both onshore and offshore sales team members. We're utilizing a CRM called Odoo. We're doing social media, email marketing, partner promotions, speaking spotlights across all the United States to be able to promote this. We're doing content, we're doing education, webinars, and affiliate referrals that are also within this industry. So setbacks. We've had sales turnover. I've had to fire half my team twice. Salespeople have been very challenging for me, so that is one of our setbacks. Our tech delays, we had to change our partner a couple of times, but now that we've got the right partner, that's going in the right direction. And we really actually realized we are launching a movement, not just a trade show. So, why am I here today? We're launching something bold. It's the Rebel Revolution. That's an event that turns this typical trade show model upside down because we're letting them sell and not just show. It's an idea that so far is landing very well, and people get really excited when they get behind it. Like, I want to help the small guy. Well, so do I. So let's make it happen. And right now, that focus is taking on those early commitments from brands and sponsors that we know the value's there. So the feedback I'm looking from you guys is how to tighten our pitch and to move people from just interested in the show, excited about the show, think it's a pretty cool movement, to actually doing something. Let's take action. Let's make this happen. Especially from people that need this, or people that are supporting those small businesses. So perhaps there's sponsors that can get behind us and go, hey, that's my target market. I want to make this happen for them too. So that's what I'm looking for as presenting here today. And again, for us, we're looking just for all those types of introductions, but today the feedback of how to take this from, yeah, it sounds cool, to let's make it happen. If we don't have time to get to everyone today, this is how you can connect with me. The QR code on the right is all of my contact information, and QR code to the left, you can actually book a Zoom one-to-one with me at any time. And I think I finished in time. Did I? Yes. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, go ahead and scan those QR codes. We'll leave that up, and we'll start taking some feedback. So back here, please.
So I have a question. I'm a little confused.
is it just an online trade show that you're putting together, or, so they will actually attend a trade show? You have access to all those trade shows that these vendors would come to, and this is set up before each trade show for them to be able to sell before, okay, you explain.
This is a trade show that will be held at the Orange County Convention Center this fall. So we have 750 booths there, and we have already secured buyers such as Publix and Kroger to attend.
Okay.
So kind of as a follow-up to that, you are a trade show, you're putting on a trade show. Is it industry specific? You mentioned Publix, Kroger, a lot of foods. Is this a food trade show? Or
This is retail, so things that can be sold, which are more than just food at Kroger, Publix, those types of buyers. So consumer product goods is the goal here.
Todd Henley, neighbors of Lake Eustis. So your question up there was how to tighten your pitch. You fit 10,000 words in 6 minutes. You were talking fast. Reminds me a lot of my wife. She does the same thing. I have to look at her and go, breathe, slow down. Now tell me what you're saying. So I think probably 3/4 of the way through the presentation, a lot of us caught on like, okay, this is a trade show. I would start your pitch with, I'm making a trade show. Here's how my trade show is different than the other ones, because you went fast and we were confused for a while. Now I think we get it, but that would be my advice for tightening your pitches. Slow.
So it seems to me like you're trying to combine show and tell with show and sell. And would this be targeting people who do not already have their own POS system? Are you trying to integrate a POS system with your program?
Well, point of sale would mean that they have a brick and mortar. So this would be anyone that has a physical product. So unless you're talking like online sales, if they're selling on Amazon and they want to get into retail, this would be a show for them.
What if they're selling on Etsy?
Same thing, as long as they can produce at the level that these buyers would want to see, then that's fine.
So first, let me commend you on putting together an awesome brand. Like, you've obviously done a lot of story brand here. You actually put together a purpose for what you're doing. So it seems very, very thought out, and I appreciate that. The question that I think I have for you, because the question that I heard you ask was, how do you get attendees to commit? Is that correct?
It's attendees and exhibitors, because we're only half full at this point.
Okay. So are you doing any kind of pre-sales right now? Are you tracking anything for that? Is there any incentive to buy now versus waiting till later?
Yes, price goes up.
Okay. And how's your response been?
Mediocre.
Okay. All right. Because you said I don't want to hold the mic up too long. You said you're already doing a lot of the marketing and everything you're doing. You said you guys are doing UGC and stuff like that and all as well as part of it?
Yes.
And they're not, are they getting an affiliate sale from doing anything?
Yes.
Okay. So then I would go back and look at your messaging. Like, if you're making the contact points and you're getting response, go back and look at the data that you have and figure out what is the barrier to entry. What is it that makes them go, okay, I'm interested, but I don't want to get to the next step. And I know that doesn't immediately answer your question, but it sounds like you guys have the data. You just might have to dig in a little bit deeper. So.
Thank you.
I just want to expand on Vanessa's question. So it sounds to me like it's the price point could be one of them. And then the other part is that I would really emphasize who the buyers are that are going to be coming that you've already secured. And I think that would potentially give these people, the attendees / booth holders, the ability to say, okay, you know what? And then tell them what your return on your investment will be in that case. But I think I would really emphasize that these are the buyers that are coming to view your products.
So, my question. I need help with my booth. How do I find you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the last part?
How do I find you?
RetailRebelRevolution.com.
But if I Google trade show booth help, do you come up?
No, because I don't think we would be under trade show booth help since we are a trade show.
Okay. So, second question, you mentioned to me in our private conversation that you track results.
Correct.
So, did you go over that and I just missed it, or?
Perhaps I did, maybe I glazed over too quickly by going back in blue.
I think you were talking too
Yeah,
fast.
so let me restate that then briefly.
Okay.
Part of the goal for this show is to be able to give anybody that exhibits true ROI, not just, and that's something I didn't cover, is our competitors in this space, which are the Fancy Food Show and Expo West, they are upwards of $6,000 to $10,000 to exhibit. We're half that. We're actually less than half that. And with that, it is primarily a showing show, not a selling show, where you do not sell on the show floor. Our app that will upload all of the products that the exhibitors have will be presented to all of the buyers that will be attending the show 2 weeks prior, the week of the show, and 2 weeks after the show, as well as they can sell on the show floor. So with that, they'll be able to see all of their data, any exhibitor there, as to what's performing before they even arrive at the show. And the goal is that they will have all of that data from the time of the whole 5 weeks of selling at the end of the show to see how they did. The other part is we're going to be providing data, sales data, from the entire show to see what did well, what did not do well, how those things went. Perhaps it might be category, but it might be actual product as well. Hopefully that expanded it better on that statement. Thank you.
So Angie, if maybe just a thought, if you're having trouble getting people to sign up, the initial price point, and I'm not even sure what the price point is, could be a stumbling block. So what if, as you get started, because you need to show the value that the product is giving to the vendors. So what if you did a base setup fee, you picked it, but then have an agreement starting up that based on sales is what you would get paid. So sales up to, I don't know, $5,000, you get 10%, up to 10 grand, whatever it is, but set a graduated scale, and then this way you can see what's working, what's not. You can get them to see the value of it for very little investment up front. And then I think just through word of mouth, just through getting, because vendors are gonna talk with each other. And if they go, you gotta try this. We did better than we have at any trade show in the last 10 years. Now you can then start to go back to a set price point, because now you can show the value that people can talk about. So I think with any startup, you have to get buy-in to them. And I think the cheapest way to get buy, or the best way to get buy-in is make it cheap.
Thank you.
All right, Matthew Guy with Pinpoint Web Studio. I want to address the question that you have regarding how to tighten that pitch. So I think that one of the best ways to give some questions, for example, you come into a room like this and you ask the question, where are my trade show people at? Who here attends trade shows? And then follow up that question with, go around the room and ask, what's your favorite thing about being a vendor at trade shows, and what's your least favorite? I'll go first. I really love exposing my brand to a wide audience in various cities. But what I really dislike is the fact that I only see those customers one time and I never see them again. And sometimes I sell things, sometimes I don't. And then you let them go around the room next. What you're doing is you're kind of putting the question already out there. You're letting them think about the issues that exist with the current model of trade shows. And then you go into your already, in my mind, pretty well put together deck here, but you've already got them thinking critically about the issue with the current model, and you're flipping the script and saying, this is why this is going to be better for you.
Thank you.
So I have a question. You said you are less than half filled with vendors yet. It's first year, might be a little lofty to get them all to sign up until they've seen what happens. Have you thought of possibly running 2 shows concurrently? This one's for your retail, maybe do something for some support services or something else to fill the space. Bring in maybe some other people who might flip-flop back and forth, but maybe sector it out just to fill it.
Right, no, it's not something I've considered. However, I've talked to other people in other industries that have said this sounds really cool when you bring it to this industry. So it may be something that I could look at, that if we are at a point where we're like, okay, we need to fill the space, and that could be something. So thank you for that suggestion.
You had stated, I love what you talked about where pre and post the data and everything. I really think you need to emphasize this information to these booth attendees and everything, because you need to educate them of how the industry works. And that's a cheap price point. I would not even touch that. Show the value in what you're doing, that you're setting yourself apart from the two big companies that stating, hey, I'm pre-selling your product, and once they come to your booth, they already know about you, so you're getting a pre-advertisement of your product before the show even starts. So they're going to come right to you. And the example that you started with, where Dole and the other company, Frontera, were in between, and they were sandwiched between, they could see that. Well, this is brilliant, and I would really emphasize that I've already pre-marketed before they even show up, so they'll know exactly the booth to go to, even if there's a whole bunch of traffic that's covering your booth up. So kudos to you.
I'd like to build on that a little bit. There is no doubt that you have passion to solve this problem that you have identified, and I feel your frustration. I think for those of us that maybe have never walked through a trade show, we don't understand exactly what the problem is. And so maybe you have a presentation for those of us that can provide you feedback on the business model, on exactly what the problem is, just the basics of how a trade show goes. And then when you're presenting to get people to your trade show, that they know that's where you go in on. Don't you hate it when? Isn't it limiting you when? But for this kind of when you're out in the community and you're gathering feedback and you're at markets and you're looking for potential people to join, figuring out the difference between how you're asking the question, because you obviously are very aware of the problem and you're intelligent and articulate around how you want to solve it. But for those of us that don't see the problem yet, you need to inform us of that and then go with it.
I think you should have educational throughout, maybe little videos.
Thank you.
Tell
Thank you
them,
both.
show comes.
Angie Montour-Lee. Gonna flip the script a little bit. So you're calling this a revolution. Is this proprietary software? Do you see this type of approach at any other trade show?
Yes, so we hired a tech stack team to be able to build out this app that's ours.
Okay. I'm thinking scratch, like commit to what you're doing with Orange County Convention Center this fall, but for scalability and for your headache when you go home, what if you just rebrand the Retail Revolution into some tech solution name, and then if you approach all markets, all trade shows, all business-to-business gatherings with this app, and now that you have this rented cloud space, this foundation already spent, your startup costs are already covered, I just think that is a lot more potential and a lot less headache, and you put it on your own trade show, whereas to go to the bajillion trade shows that are out there and sell this app to them. It's revolutionary, you're right, but why put on a trade show when you can be the solution for every trade show?
Thank you. So, hi, Nikki with Whimsy Market. So I do somewhat similar on a smaller scale, but I'm gonna two different talking points. First of all, I actually tried to do what you did at the Orange County Convention Center, but with more small businesses, not a trade show, okay? I don't technically agree with the going cheaper, just like he said. I know the fees. I know how much it costs. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our event because they just kept adding things, and you know that frustration specifically. So I definitely don't think you should go any lower. I do like the fact that you are cheaper than the others. That's a good selling point. The other thing is when you, on your talking point of asking like how to fix things, when you're doing your pitch, I would start off to the vendors, the people that you're trying to get to vend at your event, is those big names. Throw out, obviously, the Orange County Convention Center, everybody in Florida knows that. Most people even outside of Florida know that. So that's a huge selling point right there. But then Publix, Kroger, all the big names, start off with that and saying that we already have these people secured. This is how we're doing it. Are you charging, I didn't hear this answer, are you charging people to come to shop?
For attendees, so it depends on the buyer level. So certain buyers, if they're carrying weight, obviously those are a different story.
So you have that.
But yes, we have attendee pricing as well, and that is staged. And this is typical through trade shows like this. It's staged based on your classification. Typically, services like consultants, things like that, pay a higher price because they're generally going to sell to the exhibitors, and so we try to deter that.
So you have the numbers before the event to say this is how many people we already have that's paid to come to the event?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. So then you can give that information to potential people. Okay, so that's one. Then he already said it too about the app. I was thinking to myself, man, how cool would that be? Because right now, for my level, we rely on social media, newsletter, as best as we can. You know, social media's algorithms are not working. So having this app kind of situation where people can download it at one time, have it in their area, and then see what events are coming up in their area, even if they can't go. Like, I looked up the trade show, I was like, oh, maybe I could talk to her about just coming, helping, do whatever you want. I have 2 markets those exact days, so I can't. But it would be cool if I could have that app, so then I could shop before or after if I cannot attend those days. So for my markets specifically, if we have a slow turnout in person, but they still have good sales before and after, it's still good on my end. So I do think that that's an option about what he had said about possibly spreading that love around with the app. Something to think about. There's plenty of market coordinators around this area that I think would really take on that if it's reasonably priced. Thank you.
All right, we'll go with Ryan and we'll wrap up here with John.
Sorry, I'm going to take a little bit more time here, but only because I think it's helpful. So the first thing is I want to validate what these folks are saying. I don't think you should drop your price, right? It needs to be the right seat, right person. So like it, don't like it, not everybody in this room, not everybody that you're reaching out to is the right fit for your event. So I mentioned messaging, going back, looking at data and looking at the messaging, but I got thinking as I was listening to all the feedback here, like, great on the app, but you need proof of concept. So that's why you're trying to do the show. It's harder to pitch to get into somebody else's show, but if you say, I already did this for my show and I put my money into it, this is the result I got, I'm more likely to bring it into my show. But messaging, and then the other part of it was your demographic. So I can't tell you as the CBO for my company how many ads I get for Aspire, Creator Fest. I just can't think of all the different ones, and they all have this guest speakers attached to it, or this is a vendor that's coming. Like, I get them 50 times a day, probably, as I'm scrolling through social, get in my email. I know you said you're already doing that, but maybe go back and review your touch points and see, because if the messaging is right, then the target audience is wrong. And it's not a price issue, it's are you getting to the right people and are you saying the right thing? So that's what I would go back and check on that. And maybe you need to increase your ad spend. Maybe you guys are not where you need to be in order to get saturation. Because like I said, the 2 that I specifically mentioned is because I just saw them like 5 times this morning. So it does work, saturation, so just think about that as well.
Thank you.
I've been listening here for about 30 minutes, and the more I listen, the more confused I get. In 10 words or less, tell me what your business is.
We're a trade show that helps consumer product goods
You
sell.
are a trade show.
Trade show.
The
that
whole
helps-
thing.
Yes, the whole thing.
You organize the whole thing.
Correct.
And?
That helps consumer product goods
Okay.
sell to retailers.
Okay.
Put your contact information back up there. So anyone else?
Margarita with DRL Innovative. My question was, a lot of times they're talking about education. So on your follow-up, I wanted to know, what are you doing? Is it videos that they get back for them to understand what you are offering? Is it educational? So when you're doing the follow-up with these individuals that you say, you have the data that they want and were interested, but then what is the follow-up with them, and is it educational?
Okay, I want to try to restate your question and make sure I understood it. So I think you're asking for people that sign up to exhibit. We're telling them the ROI that they're going to get with the, no? Okay, then I'm kind of following, not, because we do offer education, but I'm not sure it's in
No.
the way you're asking.
For the clients, if you said that, a lot of people said they're interested in this trade show, but they're not committing to it. What is the follow-up? Do they get like an email follow-up or something like a YouTube video, something that tells them why what you have is for them?
Great question, thank you for that. So we typically do 7 to 12 touches with every single person. It's a myriad of different things. There are a few videos that our sales team have with me on it that tell them everything that they need to do much slower, by the way. I don't speed talk there. So they're going back, they're doing the feedback. Their scripts try to keep the door open. We try to make sure that there's nothing that's giving an opportunity for a no.
All right, we're gonna have to wrap up here because we're running out of time, but one last question, Greg, hang on to that and talk to Angie afterwards. What can we do for you as a community?
Well, the feedback here today was amazing. My email address is up there, so if there's something you think after here, please share that with me. Spreading the news, if you know someone that's a fit, or if you know a business partner that would be a great sponsor that wants to reach and help these same entrepreneurs, I'd love those conversations and introductions.
One more round of applause for Angie. Thank you. Well, thank you all for that feedback, and again, there's Angie's contact information, and that's okay. That's all right. So make sure if you do want to get in touch with her, you find her after this, where there is that continued, more QR codes for you. Thank you all for coming this morning. Make sure you grab those, and we are going to do some community announcements. So if you have something going on in the area in the next week, we'd love to hear about that.
I want to save the best for last this time. HR Summit, I know we talked about it last week, the last few weeks actually, but I'm really excited about it. June 17th, you're going to learn HR 101 to 401. So how to get involved with the schools, how can you create a pipeline with your company? Also, what are support resources that may not be in our area yet? How can we bring them here? How can we create a pipeline, create opportunity, keep kids local, keep businesses local, and cure your staffing solutions from compliance to succession planning? That's all free at the Tavares Pavilion on the Lake, June 17th, 8 to 12.
I was given special permission by Marie. It's technically 3 weeks out, but she wants me to remind everybody that Fresh Market at Farron, which is being put on by Lindsay Market, is starting June 11th down there in the park. It is a night farmers market, so from 5 to 8 p.m. On June 11th is our grand opening, and we just joined the chamber, so they're going to do a ribbon cutting. So we would really love if you guys can come out. As of right now, I've got over 35 vendors. If you are still interested and your spot's not full, we'd love to have you. So you can reach out to me at any time. But please, please, please share it around the community as much as you guys can. Everybody's been asking for this type of event, and we're doing everything in our power to make this as good as possible and a staple in Eustis.
What day?
June 11th from 5 to 8.
We do have the fish bowl going around. If you've not put your cups in, please put your cups in the fish bowl.
All right, let me switch hats for a second and switch over to Leesburg Area Chamber. Tomorrow, I know I missaid it last time or last month I was here, so I apologize when we showed up. It really is tomorrow this time, is our sunrise breakfast. Starts at 7 in the morning. It is free for anybody who's coming for the first time. You can see myself, you can see Colton, and any of the other ambassadors and anything like that from the chamber. We're happy to get you guys in. It's pretty awesome to check out.
Okay, I'm now two things. I'm representing Pam and Marie to mention, not only welcome Whimsy Market to the chamber as an ambassador here, but also to remind everybody June 21st or 20th and 21st is the Business Expo. So if you want information, there's flyers on the back. Please check that out. And then also I remit to say Toastmasters is on Monday evenings at 5:30 to 6:30. Come develop your public speaking skills. Thank you.
A couple of quick things. It's more than 3 weeks out, or 2 weeks out, but right on the back table, if you are an SBDC client, you're invited to Tampa for 2 days of a seminar on best practices. So it's really cool. The other thing is on the back table is the Florida Trend 2024 magazine. This is probably the most significant document you can look at if you're getting ready to start a business. It takes you from the beginning to the end, and it helps when we meet, so please do that. And there's a bunch of them on the back table.
I read it, it's good.
Do you have it in digital format? Can we scroll through it? Maybe, perhaps. Florida Trend. So that's a great point. Lots of resources back here on the table, including that magazine. So grab those on your way out and leave flyers as well. Any other announcements? There's another QR code for you if you'd like to put any of these things that you just mentioned up on that LEAD website. Our winner for today is Mr. Byron Fowdy from East Sports Radio. We know that you will be promoting 1 million cups everywhere your photo booth goes by now using your new one, right?
Put a sticker on your camera.
There you go. Okay, we're gonna do our group picture, so everyone, even those of you that want to avoid it, come get in the picture, please, up front. Get your 1 million cups fingers ready.
Now the organizers and presenters sit in the front row.